Good morning, friends. Today, as usual, I am live again with the topic after Blenheim. It is the continuation of my last classes. It is the third part, and it would incidentally be the concluding part of the poetry. Today I am taking up different issues concerning the poem, which are pertinent aspects of the poem, and those have been taken for critical analysis and appreciation. Here we have, in the first day, I told you about the history of the Battle of Blenheim, and along with that I gave you a synoptic idea of the poem. In the second class, that means yesterday, I took up the class. It was interrupted because of some reason. It was in two parts, and in that part I took up for consideration all the stanzas for detailed analysis. Today I am going to take up the different aspects of the poem to be viewed in some critically. We should analyze and we should try to appreciate those intricate issues concerning the poem. First of all, I am poetry. What does it mean? Just I am rubbing it. I would like to tell you first what is war poetry. So, the concept of poetry, a poetry I have repeatedly told while I was making deliberations on daffodils, that a poetry is a metrical composition in verses. The war poetry refers to those metrical composition concerning the war, anywhere. So it's a metrical composition in verses concerning the war. It is a factual description. It's a presentation of some facts. It is the presentation of some events. Those have already been taken place. The issues of war should not be taken as granted to be the imagination. It is the reality, the poetry based on the reality of the different battles, of a single battle. It may be a single battle, it may be a combination of a good number of battles, making it giving it the status of war. So it is war poetry, and it is basically written and composed for the purpose of future generations, because the future generation will go through. They may not be always ready to go through the history, but when they are going through the poem, or when they would learn regarding the war. So that is the war poetry. This war poetry has got two dimensions. The writers may take it as granted that the war is good, and there may be the others who negates. There are others who negate the war, so far as their view the war is not at all good. A group is there who basically are in favor of having a positive notion about the war. They justify war from different point of view. Just you think, I am giving an example. Someone is writing a poem on the controversy in Indian border, in the western part with Pakistan, in the northern and northeastern part with China. We are having the problems over there. The standoff is being carried on for a good number of months with China, and since independence with Pakistan. So there are different, so these are critical aspects so far as the national sentiment is concerned. Now if they were baked out over there, or any of these part, or in different area, then any poem written after that, someone will be telling, no, the battle was wanted, because it is the question of nationalism. It is the question of national interest. We should not allow anybody to take our soil even an inch. So those people will maintain the view that war is wanted from the point of view of nationalism, from the point of view of the safety and security of the country, from the point of view of showing that you are mightier than others, so you should not be considered as a weaker one. It is from the standpoint of the total interest of the safety, security of the country. So if the poetry is written with that concept, then it would be a pro-war poetry. Pro-war, that is, pro refers to basically having a positive notion. Okay, they are in favor of. Pro means in favor of the war. Pro means in favor of the war. So they have the pro notion that the war is wanted from the point of view of nationalism, from the point of view of safety and security of the king or of the country, and from the point of view of the patriotistic look. Okay, so a patriotic fellow will always think for the country. No, the patriotism demands that the nation first, human being second, and the humanistic approach, in contrast, they consider human being first, nation second. Now the controversy might have been there, and with that controversy, the two groups of writers we have got, some writers advocate war, and some writers negates the concept of war. The pro-war contributors, they are, I am naming some few: Robert Brooke, Richard Lovelace, Alfred Lord Tennyson. You have gone through his name in a good number of poems, I think. So they have always tried to glorify the war, okay, because to them, as per their views, war brings honor. War brings honor. War brings prestige to the nation, to the country, to the kingdom. Okay, so they are in favor of war, and they think that fighting battles and war is a requirement is a duty on the part of the persons who are governing the state, or who are governing the nation, or who are governing the kingdom. So it is the duty of the persons, it is the duty of the persons in the epics of our governance to save its motherland. So it is their duty, and by doing that they are performing, they are in conformity to their feeling of patriotism, the attitude towards nationalism, and these writers advocates where is positive to them. Where is wanted because it brings glory, it brings honor, and if you do not fight the war, it means that you are weaker. Okay, you are weaker, and the weaker person can never stand. Okay, so that is one part. And the other part is that what war results. It might have the war has given you the safety, security of your land, but it has a devastating scenario. It kills hundreds and hundreds of people. It destroys all the creations. So it destroys the life of the human being, it destroys the life of the animals, it destroys the beauty of the nature, and it destroys all the creation. So it is a very devastating aspect. The killing of human beings should never be taken in any event. Killing of human beings should never be taken as anything which we should support. That is the view of another group of writers, and they are known as Antiwar poems. And their poems, a good name in the Antiwar poets, the Siegfried Salmon, Edmund Blunden, Ivor Gurney, Robert Graves. So they are some important contributors in the arena of anti-war poetry. They are more concerned with the horrors of war, warfare, and the devastated landscape. It may bring honor for the country, but it will destroy the human being. So it should not be. War should not be advocated. So that is the concept. Okay. Now this poem is an anti-war poem. How it is? Here we are getting the three figures. One is Caspar, second one is Wilhelmine, the granddaughter, and third one is the boy, the grandson of Mr. Caspar, naming Peterkin. He has got a skull, Peterkin, while playing he has got something smooth round. He was excited to know what the thing was. He came to his grandfather, tell me what it is. The man says it might have been the skull of a man who died in the battle. It is the single you have got. But Mr. Caspar added that it is not in single. I have got thousands. While I was plowing my field, I have got thousands. I have got thousands of these skulls. It means thousands and thousands of fellow died over there. What is the reason? Because there was a battle. A battle was fought between whom? Between the two groups. A battle the battle was fought in that village of Blenheim. By whom? By a two opposing group. One by Franco-Bavarian army, and the other one is a Grand Alliance, led by England. The English was this group. Grand Alliance group was led by Duke of Marlborough, and here the Duke of Master Charlie, from the point of view of Franco-Bavarian. There was a huge fight on a particular day. It was on the 13th of August 1704, I think, and huge devastation in a single day. There were casualty of more than 6,000 of Franco-Bavarian, and more than 5,000 on the part of the Grand Alliance, and more than 8,000 civilian died over there. So you think the number, आंकड़ा कितना है आप लोग सोचो. What happened? The battle was fought as a part of the total war of Spanish succession that I have already told you. Clear? Now this particular battle resulted a single day more than 20,000 people were killed. More than 20,000. Even that dead personnel included the newborn babies, and even the expectant mother. And even the devastation was so high that all the houses were mashed into ashes. Okay, and the Caspar's father had to flee with his mother and with his wife and other children in somewhere else. Such a devastation. But although it was a devastation, although it was a mean act, although it was a very frightened event, still the old Caspar was telling, it was a famous victory, it was a great victory. So this is the words he has uttered all through the poem. But these two kids, they are guided by their natural instinct. They are not at all ready to tally it. Thousands of fellows died. But still it was a great victory. How can it be? How a greatness of something can be achieved by the death of hundreds, thousands and thousands? So to them, it is a wicked thing, it is a very bad thing. It was not wanted. But as per Caspar, it was a great victory, because Duke of Marlborough was highly praised, and Prince Egwene. There is a controversy. There is a controversy. While Caspar, being guided by conventional thoughts, Caspar was spelling out, was pronouncing what he had learned from the seniors, from the leaders for long. But the kids have not got any such message, any such guidelines, any such word from anybody else. They are free from all. They have got the information that there was a battle, and the battle resulted in the win of English force, but it also devastated. There was a devastating landscape, and it killed thousands and thousands. So to their natural instinct, it strikes that it was not a good thing, it is a wicked thing. And the poet has expressed that thing through the words of these two kids. So this is an opposition of the word conventional thought of Mr. Caspar and the genuine thought guided by natural instinct of the two kids. And the poet has tried to show this one. Okay, the poet has tried to extend the message that the war is not at all a good thing. So that is why it is anti-war poetry. Okay, I think I have cleared in due terms. Have a thought over there, friends? Then come to the form and structure. Form and structure. It is basically an open-end story. After Blenheim, as I already discussed, there was a battle in Blenheim, but it is not regarding the battle. It is not regarding the battle. It is regarding the effects of battle. Absolutely effects of battle. No, sorry friends, it is not even the effects of battle. It is not about the battle. It is not about the effects of the battle, but it is a conversation regarding the battle long and long after the battle was fought. It was a story of three persons: Caspar, Wilhelmine and Patriotism. Clear? And it is nothing but a tale. The tale was relating to the effects of war. Okay, so it was not the war poetry, absolutely, and war poetry. It is not what happened in the war. It is not about the total outcome of the war, but it is the notion. There is a confrontation of the notion, the conventional notion of the old man and the instinctive notions of the two kids. So there is a tussle, and that tussle has been composed, okay, in a very lucid manner. Okay, so it is a very simple tale involving the conversation. Okay, it is concerned with the conversation, and it is a ballad. Ballad, as you know, ballad is a long story for singing. I have already told all these things. So it is more or less long because it is written in 11 stanzas. Okay, and it narrates the story of the three. It's a story. It is a story in the form of conversation. Okay, and the most importantly, it is an open ending. There is no starting point. It has started abruptly. It has started abruptly. The old man Caspar sitting, after the day's work, it was a summer time, after the day's work, the man was sitting in front of the door under the sunshine in the afternoon hours. The afternoon hours. After the then so it is, there is open end poem. It has started abruptly. With the scenario, Mr. Old Caspar is sitting in front of his cottage under the sun, because the sun was not yet set, but it was about to set. Okay, it is latter part of the afternoon hours. The little Wilhelmine playing in the meadow, and the boy, and the Petrarchin is senior to the girl Wilhelmine, approaching with something round and smooth. So this is the beginning. Clear? So this is the form. So it is in the form of a ballad. It is in a very, it is nothing but a story, a tale presented in conversation. So that is basically the form, and it is a ballad form. And as you have already know that ballad is a more or less a long poetry made for singing. Clear? Then come to this, some important aspects. The presentation, while presenting refrain, I am coming to refrain. What is refrain? What is refrain? Refrain means use of phrase. Use of phrases, that is known as refrain. Phrase, I think friends you know that what a phrase is. A phrase is a group of words. A phrase is a group of words having some meaning with no subject, no verb. It is a group of words generally repeated in the verses. It may be in the form of 2 or 3 of words with no subject and no verb, having some meaning. It may be in 2 words or more than 2 words. Clear? Or it may be in verses too. So that is refrain. The use of refrain is a very, very important aspect of this. A famous victory. A great victory. So these are the phrasal words. Okay, a famous victory, a great victory. This has been repeated many times. Nearly in all paragraphs, nearly in all the paragraphs you will get this phrase. So this is in important aspects of this particular poem. Okay, and this famous victory and this phrase basically carries a conflict. This shows the conflict. These phrases have developed a picture of conflict between the 2 groups. One, the group Caspar, and the other group Wilhelmine and Petrarchin. One is guided by the conventional thought, and the other ones are guided by the natural instinct. So this refrain is the use of these refrains, these phrases gives makes the picture of conflict between the 2 thoughts, conventional and instinctive thought. It gives a massive importance. It actually gives binds the poem with its composition, and along with the notion, along with the theme, along with the subject matter of the poem, and that subject matter is Antiwar concept. Clear? Then come to the rhyming aspect. Rhyme scheme. If you just, I think you might have gone through rhyme scheme. The poem, we have got the poem of 11 stanzas and 6 lines each. 6 lines. Okay. The first 4 lines, this one, that one, and then other. So this 4 line is basically known as quatrain, as I have already told you. The quatrain. If you see the quatrain, the first line is by itself a different, third line different, and line, the end of line B and the end of 4, they are in rhyme. So B was the end part of B, second line and the end part of 4 line have the same type of pronunciation, but this A is ending with a different pronunciation, as different from B and C is ending with as different from B and A. So this part is A, B, C, B. Clear? And now the 5th and 6th ends with the same pronunciation, so had with the same rhythm, rhyming element, and it is, we consider it as C. That is known as couplet. Couplet is the verses in 2 lines. Verses in 2 lines are known as couplet. A couplet, as I have already told you, and it is C. It is D. So now the pattern is A, B, C, B, D, D. So it is the rhyming scheme. Clear? And while going through the topic, I think everybody should be aware of this type of thing, because these are the literary aspects, and we have the tendency to go through the topic just to learn the topic, to memorize the summary, and to go on answering the question. The literature should be viewed, should be studied properly in its own. Okay, I am trying to give you the glimpses of how to proceed with the poetry. Clear? Then the irony. Irony is another important aspect. Irony means the opposite of what is stated. Opposite of what is stated. That is the irony, and it is the irony that has given the Antiwar status of the Antiwar poetry, Antiwar status of this poetry. Irony is the opposite of what is stated. What is stated? The basic thing stated in it is a famous victory, it is a great victory. So this is the thing. The old man being the original interpreter of the battle of the Battle of Blenheim, he is in favor of the concept. It was a great battle, victory. It was a famous victory. So the basic notion of the Battle of Blenheim was a beautiful aspect. It was a beautiful thing. It glorified the performance of Duke of Marlborough and Prince Egwene. It resulted in the defeat of the French army, and the interest of the Grand Alliance was actually protected by the performance of this English army. So it was a beautiful thing, because this battle brought huge fame and glory to these two fellows, Duke of Marlborough and Prince Egwene. So this is the basic thing. But the irony is, ultimately this is being opposed. And this it was a great victory. Who says this? Mr. Kasper says this. Where from he has got the idea? He has no idea. He is absolutely stupid like me. He do not know. He has no thoughts over the issue. He has given no thought. Yesterday I have told you, he gave no thought on it. Someone told him it was a great victory. Someone told him, victory was wanted. Without victory, there will be a problem of succession in the Spanish Empire, in the Spanish Empire. Had the Britishers been defeated by the Franco-Bavarian troop, in that case, the objective of the British, the objective of the Allied force would have been hampered, would have not been fulfilled. So it was a great victory. So people, he has tried to state war was the beautiful issue. But why was it? He does not know. But he says it was a great victory, it was a famous victory because it brought good fame to Duke of Marlborough. So he has no idea of his own. And he is like the parrot, he is only uttering. It was a great victory, it was a famous victory. But the two kids, Blenheim and Patriotism, with a natural instinct, with a very innocent sense, who has not yet developed any amount of complexities in life, who knows nothing about nationalism, who knows nothing about patriotism, who knows nothing about the safety and security of the land, who know nothing about the glory and fame, how it can be brought in spite of the killing of thousands of people. So in their innocent mind, it was a wicked thing. Although the basic attempt to show the war is a famous victory, but what is being projected, that the war is not at all good. Clear? So that is the irony. So irony, what is being wanted, it is the opposite of what is stated. So it was stated a great victory, but the poet tried to justify that the war is not a great one. War is always a devastating aspect. It is in humanistic aspect. It destroys the human being. It destroys the life of human being and human and other animals. It destroys the environment. It destroys the creations. So it should never be treated as a good thing, as a great victory or good victory. So that is the irony. Clear? Then comes the question of title. The title is very, very important in any story or any poem. That the title is After Blenheim. You think to what extent it is justified? To what extent it is justified? I am to repeat that Blenheim at that time was a village. Now it is a city. Blenheim, it was a village. A battle was fought over there, in which battle the English defeated the Franco-Bavarian army. So it was fine. Clear? So the battle only has been mentioned. There is nothing stated as to what happened in the battle, but what actually the total outcome of the battle. But what is stated? It was stated that the differences in conversation, differences in the angle of thinking, thought by the old man and thoughts of that of the child, that of the children, and it was about the outcome. It was about the outcome. Old man was saying it was a great victory, but in spite of the huge devastation, but the kids think that how can it be? Nothing can be good if it is the result of the killing of thousands of fellows. So that one, the After Blenheim, the title is absolutely appropriate one. It is an apt one because it is not on Blenheim battle. It is the thought of some fellows, 3 fellows. It is stated in a conversation. It is a story of some fellows. What is their thoughts about the battle when the battle has already been fought for a good number of years back? So it is not the day's event. It is the event of past of past. So the title is very, very appropriate. Now comes to the theme. Number one, horrors of war. I have already told you, it is an icon. Horrors of war. It's an iconic structure to bring home the idea that war is horrible. Huh? Huh? Ironic, because it has been ironic in this sense. I have already told you what is stated and against what is opposed. It was stated that it was a great victory, it was a famous victory, but it was opposed. Okay, opposition. It is the opposition of that concept that war is not a great victory. It is an attempt to establish what is stated by the main person in the conventionally. Kaspar is telling from his conventional thoughts, from the conventional point of view, that war is a great thing. It was a famous victory, it was a great victory. But the poet tried to project. That is an ironical presentation. It is an ironical presentation, and the presentation of opposing the main idea. Main idea is it was a great victory, it was a famous victory, but he was opposing that idea. Okay, that is ironic presentation. It is an ironic presentation. It is an ironic structure to bring home the idea that war is horrible, and that is why, and that has made it an anti-war poetry. Okay, so war is always an horrible issue, because war gives nothing. It may give satisfaction to some, but it may give some praise to others. Okay, it may destroy others' life, but it is the loss of the mankind. It is the loss of the mankind. It is the loss of the environment. It is the loss of the creation. So these are the devastating aspects. These are very, very horrible aspects. So war is an horrible issue. Clear? So next one, same thing. The generation. Now, very, very important. So it has been stated. The theme is that theme. I think I have already told you in repeated case. Theme is the subject, basic subject. The subject. It was a story, it is an open-ended story, stated in conversation. The main aspect is famous war, great victory, famous victory, but that notion is being opposed by the poet with his attitude, with his feeling, with his emotion, not in his imagination, with his feeling, with his emotion, with his sentiment, that the war is horrible. And that he has tried to establish with the conversation, with the notion of the two kids, Wilhelmine and Petrarchin, in their words, the war is a wicked thing, battle was a wicked thing, the fight was a wicked thing, and Petrarchin says, nay, when it kills the lives, it kills the lives of huge persons, how can it be good? They are asking question. So here the war is horrible. That message is being projected with the help of this poem. Now there is a generation gap. Old Caspar he has got huge experiences of life. He has faced many events. He has he has seen huge number of persons. He has got the thoughts and messages from different persons. But these two kids, they are newly born. Okay, they have not come in connection with the others. They are always guided by their own thoughts. But that man, old man, his instinctive attributes and qualities, he had no thoughts of his. He has been carrying the thoughts of what has been stated by the Didian leaders and what were repeated by those who favored this fight. Okay, so there is a gap between the age of the grandson's age and the new gen kids. They are Wilhelmine and Petrarchin. So it clearly depicts the gap. But it suggests something, that over the passage of time, a time was there when war became a basic characteristics of city life, country life, okay, and it is the general aspects of kingship and maintaining the kingdom. Okay, regular aspects. So if you go through the history, you will be seeing that huge number of battles, numerous number of battles and wars have been fought all through all through the ages of human civilization. But with the passage of time, if you go through minutely, then in the present day, these things are not so much. Where number of war has already been reduced because it was there. So it is a generation gap that has changed the views. Next one, man's cruelty to man. It is it is a derived theme from this one. Man's cruelty to man, because men are killed by the men. So there is no question of fraternity, there is no question of brotherhood. As we presently say, this is the total whole world is our family, whole world is our society. So because of the concept of fraternity and brotherhood, and that was absent. Okay, the curiosity and lack of faith. 8 messages. There is a curiosity. Curiosity was shown by the 2 children, Blenheim and Patriotism. They had the curiosity, what it is, what not, how it is, what for it is. So, but this stupid fellow, the aged one, had no curiosity. He is a conventional man. He has what he has got. He has taken his as granted. Yehi theek hai. But they are making the questions. They are making the questions. They are having their own. They fight with themselves. Where was good, people are telling, but where has resulted in huge number of deaths, killing, devastation, and how can it be? So there are a good number of questions, there are a good number of interrogations within themselves, within each and every one of these kids. So there was some fight in him, but the man is really stupid. So there is to the man. To that old Caspar, there is no chance of curiosity. So curiosity lacking on them. So a man is known as a man when he is rational, and human being is treated as rational. And the rational fellow must have his own thoughts, own emotion, own feeling, own sentiment, own judgment. But this is lacking on the part of Mr. Old Caspar. But it is absolutely present in the 2 kids. So they are very curious, and curiosity and the lack of curiosity is absolutely been depicted. And then complacency. Okay, one thing is that, you see, as you go on getting your age increase, you'll see that persons are becoming much more complacent. Much more complacent. What I have got, okay, no problem. Very often, सर को क्लास करके क्या होगा, सर तो पढ़ा दिए हैं, हो गया, और कुछ नहीं करना है. So it is nothing but a complacency. Mind it, when complacency is another name of satisfaction. I would like to say it is a crude satisfaction. When if you are satisfied, you will lose all the urge of doing further. So don't try to be satisfied before your death. And on my part, I am telling you, I am not at all satisfied. People say that you are teaching something very, you are doing this thing good, very good. But let them speak. But I am not at all satisfied. And if I am satisfied, I will lose the urge of doing work. I will lose the urge of proceed a bit further. I will always go on taking rest, taking huge meal, and go on having sleep and making majak and all this. So this is the thing. So it is the total thing. The basic theme is that war is a horrible issue. War is a horrible issue. It should be rejected. Although old Caspar is advocating that on the basis of his conventional thoughts, the kids are telling the right thing. Kids are telling the right thing with their instinctive nature. The war should be avoided. It is their message, and with that message, the poet Robert Southey has written this poem, and it is an anti-war poetry. What I stated initially, I am ending with that. Okay, so thank you, friends. This is the concluding part of the poem after Blenheim. So stay tuned with me. I will